Hello my friends and welcome to Flying Circus Models. This is the fourth and final part of my current project AEG G4 from Winged Wings final assembly. Once the main paint job was completed, I decided that model looks way too bright, so I put a very thin layer of light gray paint that was mixed with the thinner approximately 9:1 ratio. Also, I tried to paint it with the lines that go parallel with rib lines. After applying the filter, the model looks not so new and has a little bit more realistic paint wear. The next process was to cover the whole model with the layer of Future and applying decals. It was a pretty straightforward process. Winged Wings decals are great as usual, and with a small amount of Set Sol solution, all decals were placed. Then I covered them with one more layer of Future. When it dried, I covered the whole model with Mr. Super Clear semi-gloss finish, so it doesn't shine too much. And a lot of miscellaneous parts like wheel covers, struts, landing gear, bomb holders, etc. were painted with Tamiya XF22 color. Then bombs and anti-gravity fuel tank were painted with RLM 76 light blue color. Machine gun cowls are photo etch parts. I bent them with the help of different drill bit sizes and glued to the plastic machine gun parts and painted with steel color. The anti-gravity fuel tank was glued to the central section of the top wing, along with the central struts. Also, I applied full gauges, decals and some black panel line washer to it. Moreover, in order to make my rigging process easier, I glued one-sided turnbuckles on the stage. Both engines were glued on their places, and I glued all support struts as well as added the rigging and rudder control wires using my regular technique that I will show a bit later, or you can find it in a special episode of how to make a realistic rigging that you can find in the link in the description. Also, on this stage I added two wires that show fuel lines and added some oil stains on the bottom wing, right below engines, with the help of brown panel line accent from Tamiya. Then I glued the central part of the top wing to its place and added more rigging. And now it's time to glue all other wing parts. They come very easy inside, and after doing that, the model doesn't fit into the camera. By the way, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet for some reason. Here comes the fun time, rigging. This plane didn't have a very complicated rigging, but the difficult part was that the model is big and it was very hard to move it on my very limited table space. I used Gaspatch anchor points, and the great part that the model already has pre-drilled holes in the wings. so I didn't have to spend time for drilling. Just glue them using a super glue with the right angle. I added the rigging lines to the top wing prior gluing them. This will also make my life easier because I will not need to place the model upside down. Then the top wing was glued on its place, and I attached the struts to their places too. Here is the regular rigging process. I cut a lot of 0.6mm brass tubes, put the easy line wire through the tube pieces, then through the anchor point and back through the tube. Using tweezers, made a good tension of the wire and fixed it with a small drop of super glue. And here you can see the finish rigging on the right side of the model. The tires were painted with the gray color, and I masked wheel covers to protect them. The landing gear was glued on their places, and I had no issues at all. First, I thought it will be not stable and too fragile for the size of the model, but it turned out very well. And a little more rigging on the landing gear. I also used some dry pigments on the bottom of the plane, wheels, landing gear and tail section. Machine guns were fully painted and I glued them to their places. One in the nose, second in the tail upper section and the third one on the bottom section. The final touch is to glue both propellers, and I can say that the model is finished. As usual, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, press like button and leave your comments below. I read and reply to all of them. Also, if you would like to support my channel, you can do it on Patreon, where you can see my videos early. Also, I share some interesting pictures there. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching and see you in the next builds.